Hi, my name is Joseph Calhoun, and welcome to the very first episode of My Indie Film in Focus. Today's special guest for the first episode is Jennifer Nichole Lee. She's an actor, a writer, and a producer. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll start this off with what got you involved with the Michigan film industry?
I started in the Michigan film industry probably about 10 years ago now. And I started on a studio film. So I met the producer that was in from LA, and that was back when studio films were filming here in Michigan due to the incentives. And he needed an assistant, so that was my first in with the Michigan film industry, or actually working in film in general. And I really learned a lot on just working on the studio film, and I decided that I wanted to get into more films, and I decided I wanted to write my own film, so that's where Just Another Dream came from.
Oh, wow. So which film was this?
Just Another Dream.
Which film was the studio film that you worked on?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Into the Storm.
Into the Storm. Okay, I reckon that's the tornado one, isn't it, right?
Yes.
Actually, one of our coworkers here, Jamie's on the bus and directing everybody onto the bus.
Oh, nice.
That's serendipitous. It's a small world, right?
Yeah.
So what was the catalyst for you to write Just Another Dream?
I had always been into writing little stories when I was a little girl. I would go to my grandma's house, and she said I was constantly writing stories. And so when I got into the film industry, that bug inside of me the desire of writing my own film just kept growing. And so I started working on a few more indie films, and I met with one of the directors and told him about how I wanted to write, and he's the one that really inspired me. He said, you need to download the screenwriting software and just start writing. And that was such good advice, because as soon as I did that, and I think everyone knows as a writer that once you start writing, it just evolves into something so beautiful, and it's just really interesting to sit down and start writing and to see where it goes. And the story of Just Another Dream really came to fruition from the first inkling of the idea for the film into what it turned out to be in the end. It was just awesome.
That's great. So what was the biggest obstacle you had to face once you had wrote your script, when it came from time for pre-production? What was the hardest lesson you learned probably from that experience?
I think the hardest thing, if you're talking in terms of going into pre-production and getting the film started, is for any filmmaker, especially here in Michigan, is creating the budget and getting the financing for the film. That's where it was kind of like some obstacles come into play, getting the funding and getting the financing. But I think if you have the right pitch and the right story, and you get the people interested that are behind the story and all that, and you get the right investors on board, then the funding comes pretty easily. So that was the biggest obstacle. But I think with each piece of the production pie, so to speak, like if the whole production is a pie, each piece has its own set of obstacles, which I think is just really important to focus on the objective and not the little obstacles that come into play, because I think a lot of filmmakers, especially when they're first starting out, get caught up in the obstacles, and there's so many things that can work against you. And I think it's important to just keep moving along every day, cross something off of your list, cast a new member, add a crew member, do something to move the production forward every day. And I think that was the best thing that we kept doing to move past the obstacles and to get the film made.
Awesome. So how long was your pre-production?
I believe our pre-production was somewhere between 3 and 6 months.
Oh, that's pretty quick. That's actually moving pretty fast. Usually it's like 9, almost a year sometimes.
Yeah, once we got started, if that's not counting when we first started initially casting, then it was a little longer. But once we got into full pre-production, it was probably 6 months.
Okay, that's not bad at all. So, talking about casting, you got some great local talent. How was that process, especially with the main two characters being so young?
Yes, it was so amazing. When the auditions started pouring in, we were just so blessed. Every character just kind of fit their role, and these auditions were pouring in we have some amazing talent here in Michigan. And as a Michigan filmmaker, we're very blessed to take advantage of all the local talent and all the local crew we have available here too. Everyone's so talented here. And we were very blessed with the auditions that we had come in, and we casted it pretty easily, and I think the actors that were meant for their roles were kind of just sent to us, and it was just amazing.
That's that serendipity, right? It just things happen for a reason.
Yes.
So with that being said, the local talent like Caden Bryce and
Yes.
Kobe, what was Kobe's?
Copeland Diver.
Copeland Diver, that's right. He was an astonishing actor too. Like I was just like blown away by their performances.
Yes.
Could we give a little bit of background on them? Do you what was it about them in in the audition process that really stuck out for you?
I think with Caden, just she has this great energy about her. And for being in the film industry, back when we first cast Caden, she had only been in the industry, I believe, less than 2 years. It might have been
wow.
a year to 2. And her audition just blew us away. She just has this great energy, this great stage presence, and just something about her. She's just meant to be in the industry, and she's going far. And same thing with Copeland. They had this great energy together and their chemistry together, and we had a lot of people comment on that in the film, just how well they did together as a team, kind of like, and they actually won an award for Best Duo.
Oh,
That was
wow.
one of the awards the film won, is for Caden and Kobe being the best duo.
That's amazing. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be back in the next segment, and we'll talk about the named talent that was attached to Just Another Dream. Stay tuned.
just dreamt that a lady was murdered.
The woman in your dream, she doesn't look like the woman on TV. Your dream was really just a dream.
People are worried about you, Anna. I'm worried about you. I just want my best friend back.
Are you sure we're doing the right thing?
Don't know how to help her there.
Anna, would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
I've been having these dreams ever since I was 8, and now they're starting to come true.
See, Anna's having trouble telling her dreams from reality. So now we're going to put you into an induced sleep. Hopefully, we can determine what's going on during these dreams of yours.
Happened to see them when they were scanning you. Your dreams aren't ordinary dreams, Anna. It's something I haven't seen in a long time.
Anna, I'm not the enemy.
I'm afraid to go to sleep. What if someone else dies because of something that I dreamed?
How do I make it stop?
Mom!
We have to figure out a way to get out of here. Tomorrow, my sister and brother are gonna die if you don't help me. I don't know what to do. It's like I'm afraid of myself.
You're afraid of what you think you can't control, what you think you can't change. Stop running from yourself. You can't outrun your destiny.
I had a dream. Is it a crime? It's not my fault it came true.
Welcome back from the break. Now that you've had an opportunity to watch the trailer of Just Another Dream, I bet you're wondering the same thing a lot of people are, and that was, how did you get this established talent attached to your script?
We were actually very fortunate. Our co-producer, Joel Reisig, he actually had ties with the talent. He had worked with Dean Cain and Christy Swanson on a few of his previous productions. And so it actually came pretty easy for us. He just contacted them. We made deals with their agents, and we got him on board.
Oh, that's super awesome. So what was it like working with Dean Cain?
It was amazing. He's actually such a great guy. He's just super cordial, super friendly. He was always making people laugh between cuts and just had great energy and happy to be there. Just he brought a great energy to set.
Yeah, I think he's local too. Isn't he like born in Michigan or?
He was born in Michigan, but he lives in Malibu now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
lot nicer day in Malibu right now than it is here in Michigan.
Right.
So, and Christy Swanson, so she was a rock star, and she plays the main character's mom, right?
Yes, and her role, Christy did such a great job for us. Her role was very emotional. She played a lot of scenes where there were a lot of tears and a lot of emotion, and she just rocked it out for us. We were very pleased with her performance.
Yeah, she turned it on a few times. The crash scene and the scene where she's in the hospital and just wow, I was blown away. Just an amazing performance from her. Can we talk about Eugene Brave Rock?
Yeah, so Eugene Brave Rock played the Indian chief in Wonder Woman, and he plays the janitor in the film. He plays sort of like a mentor type. So she gets placed in the mental institution, and Eugene Brave Rock plays where he's the role where he gets her to believe in herself and follow her dreams, and he gets her to understand that she has a gift. And she thinks it's a curse and it's ruining her life, and he's there to kind of mentor her, and he helps her escape from the institution and follow her dreams and fulfill her destiny. So he's kind of like that type of mentor role.
Oh, that's really cool. So I guess what would be your most memorable moment from production while you were filming?
That's a tough one. There were so many amazing moments, and so many ups and downs, and getting through the obstacles together. And I think we had such a tiny film crew on Just Another Dream. I believe we had 7 people on our crew.
Wow. And
it was just a small, tight-knit, like family type film. And at least on the crew, when we were on set, it just felt like a family. And there were so many amazing moments. In particular, it was, I believe, the day we filmed the Swartz Creek. It was the high school hallway scene in the classroom scene. Those kids that were filming from Swartz Creek, they were just amazing. I just loved their, they were all so happy to be there, and they were just excited to be in the film. They gave us great performances. They took direction very well, and these were all, high school kids. And that day, for whatever reason on set, just really inspired me, from the attitude of the teenagers and how excited they were to be a part of this project, and just to see how they were excited to have their first taste of the film industry, and to spark that in them to where they want to continue developing and continue finding more projects and developing their talent in new ways. And it's just really inspiring.
Yeah, there was like 30 some odd kids in that scene, right?
Yes, and it was super hot the day we filmed. We filmed, and there was no air conditioning in the high school. There was not a single complaint from those kids. They were just super pumped and excited to be there. And they ate us out of all the snacks. That was about it.
They tore crafty up on.
Snacks and water.
They were if I'm not mistaken, they were a theater group from that school too, right?
Yes, we filmed, it was the Swartz Creek Center for the Arts, or something like that it was called, and it was the
theater kids.
Theater,
huh?
yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So they got a taste of what it's really like to be on a film set. Super cool. I remember that day vividly. It was like 30 background actors, and just
yes.
The one kid was walking through on his hands, doing a hand walk, and what a wild shoot. Yeah. So, is there any other thing that sticks out? Like, I was thinking about the day that we shot in Tecumseh, where the train comes through and closing the road off. That day, that was a pretty exciting day. That was a different day from the actual car accident scene, but it was in the same location though, right?
Yes, we filmed a lot in Tecumseh and used the downtown area. The downtown area of Tecumseh is just a really pretty town, and the city of Tecumseh was just amazing in accommodating us when we needed to close the roads, whatever we needed to do to make this film happen. They accommodated us for the softball scene, getting all the girls in their softball uniforms and getting the teams together, and those girls for the softball scene were just amazing as well.
There was quite a bit of background actors for that too. That was a big day too. I remember that, the drone shot, and
Yes.
yeah, wow, we got a lot done that day. I remember that vividly because thinking about, like, you know, and such a small crew, it's just amazing to get all that in one day, like 12-hour days. And
Yes.
so with all that said, and the experience you have now and being on other sets, how magical was that?
For Just Another Dream, it was very magical. Like I said, it was such a small crew, and the cast just came together. I just felt like the entire project was blessed from beginning to end, from when we started casting to finishing. Every little problem that arose, just the solution was right there. So we all just worked together and, you know, accomplished great things.
So is there anything you would tell aspiring filmmakers about hitting them obstacles head on? What advice would you give them?
I would just say networking is a really big thing, because a lot of times when you hit problems, you're like, who do I know that can fix this problem, you know? Or with like casting as well, the more people you know, to fit the roles, and with filling your crew members, people for locations. You know, a lot of times you need to use family members' homes to film in. You know, when you're first starting out as a filmmaker, you just kind of use every resource you have, and being resourceful is the most, I think, important thing as a first-time filmmaker. Just use all your resources, network as much as possible, and you know, bring everything together and work through it.
Well, that's awesome. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back for the last segment. Thanks for watching.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Hi, I'm Evan Carr. I'm in AmeriCorps Vista.
I'm Connie Miller from Free Meal Program in Connie's Kitchen.
So Connie, how did the meals program begin?
It started about 13 years ago. It was called Community Meals. It was kind of overseen by Love Inc., and there were several area churches involved. Then last year, it kind of all changed. Last year everything changed. That program basically stopped for, I don't know, months, I guess. But then we became Free Meals, and we never stopped.
So how did COVID impact the free meals?
Well, that kind of is what caused the break. We had served in the church on a Wednesday night. We talked to our guests and the team, because we knew something was coming. And we all agreed we were going to carry on. Well, the next morning I got a call saying it's a suspended program. And I said, well, I've got a key to the church, and I'm just going to keep going. So I did, and that first week, it was just Chris and I out in the parking lot. I cooked at home, and then I started getting angry calls and texts from the team saying, why didn't you call me? And everybody came back. The cook teams from the other churches didn't come back, so we cooked every week. And just kind of went from there. And that's been, what, like 18, 19 months?
Wow. So what is the best way the community can support the meals program?
Call me. You can volunteer, you can donate. We need cash right now to buy. We're buying a lot of groceries. We're spending about $600 to $700 a week right now. And the need is plateaued right now, but we are forecasting a spike over the next few weeks. But just to give an idea, you know, in the past year and a half, we have collected about $25,000 in donations. We're starting to run out now. And we have served, conservatively, as of July 1st, over 9,000 meals. And that doesn't even address the groceries, the milk, the bread, the eggs, all the produce. Doesn't even address that, so.
Well, that's amazing, Connie. We're glad to see how much you've been able to help the community through the meals program, and look forward to seeing what you do next.
Well, I am honestly just the one that wouldn't say no, but it's the team. And you know, because you're part of that team. And I want to say to AmeriCorps and Fort County, thank you for sending this young man to us. And he's coming back. He's done with the program, but he's coming back to us. You have been invaluable.
Thank you.
Invaluable. We packed 1,400 and some eggs together one day. So we do everything. So yeah, call me if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate. There's no such thing as a small donation, and we don't say no to anybody who has a heart to volunteer. So call me, 248-933-4579.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other. Welcome to Oxford Community Television.
Welcome back to My Indy Film in Focus. I'm here with Jennifer Nichole Lee, and she is the writer-producer of Just Another Dream. So to date, how many awards has Just Another Dream won?
Oh, it's somewhere between 23, 25. I think I lost count somewhere after 20. It seems like all the awards started pouring in. We started entering film festivals, and I was really happy because every single person on our crew has won some type of an award, and a lot of our cast members won awards. So Kaden has won for Best Actress, Kaden and Kopi won for Best Duo, we won for Best Cinematography, Best Writer, Best Original Screenplay, Best Director.
Wow.
We just won. It seems like we hit every category, so we were really blessed.
Which one did you feel was the probably the most notable award? Like what film festivals did you submit to?
We submitted to so many, I think like 50. So it's hard to like pinpoint one that might be the most notable. We won in several different countries. There was one we won out of Cannes and Toronto. There's some we won for like, I believe the best women filmmaker in out of LA.
Good, that's well deserved.
Yes.
For sure.
So different countries. We won out of the UK. I can't remember how many countries total, but yeah, there were several, but we entered so many. So we had a better chance of winning, I think.
Spoiler alert for anybody. I don't want to ruin anything for you, but it's open-ended. Are you planning on doing Just Another Dream?
Yes, we did actually set it up for a sequel. So I have been writing the sequel, and it is in outline form now. It's coming along. So we actually plan to film this coming fall or next spring.
Okay.
For the sequel.
And are you bringing some of the characters back, or are we going to get introduced to a new line of characters?
Yes, it's going to be the same characters, but it's going to be a standalone sequel where you can watch it and you don't have to watch the first one to understand what's going on in the sequel. But in the first one, Kaden is the main actor, and Christy, it's kind of like her and Christy play more of a role than Copeland and Dean. But in the sequel, it kind of flips, and it follows more Dean and Kopi, but Kaden's still in it quite a bit as well. They're still best friends, and they're both in the film, and they make they play really well together. But the males kind of take over in the sequel.
Oh, that's awesome! and so Dean Cain is already on board on the sequel.
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And will he have a more prominent role? Like you saying, so he's going to be expanded upon his story. Because for anybody that hasn't watched it, his wife's going through a thing, and he's getting the funding of the hospital's going away, and it's just bad news for him all the way around.
Yeah, so him and Kopi kind of team up in the sequel, and it takes a little bit of more of a sci-fi type twist, and there's another twist and a surprise ending, kind of like the first one, but I like the surprise ending and the twist better in the sequel even, so I'm really excited. I think the sequel is going to be surprising to a lot of people.
So I'm drawing a blank on Kaden's character's name.
Anna.
Anna. So Anna, there's a young Anna.
Yes.
In the original. Is there going to be a young Anna in the sequel?
I think there will be like flashbacks of her past.
Okay.
And things of that sort. But the younger versions of Anna and Josh aren't as prominent in the sequel.
Okay, because the young lady that played young Anna was remarkable. I mean, she did a really good job.
Yes. In fact, Christy Swanson, when she was in town, said that Breeden was the best young actress she's ever worked with.
Oh wow,
so it was quite the compliment.
Quite a compliment, yeah. That's
Yes.
astonishing. And so Christy's on board with the sequel too?
Yes.
All right. So you're thinking fall or spring?
We might start pre-production this fall and filming by spring.
Nice.
That's the plan.
All right. So a bigger budget or?
Yes, we're working toward a little bit of a bigger budget. I think with every film we do, we're working toward building on the budgets and having better equipment, better quality, more of a cinematic feel, and just even though the production value in Just Another Dream was great for the budget. I mean, we really stretched the budget on Just Another Dream, the first one. But I'm also writing the book, so the book is in final editing, and I'm hoping to release the book before the sequel.
Wow, so I didn't know that it's a paperback or a hardcover too?
It'll be available in both.
Wow, and how many pages is this?
I'm not sure on the page count yet.
Okay, so is this still a little bit of work in progress?
Yes, but it'll be around 60,000 words. I know that.
Wow,
So.
holy smokes! I didn't know there was a book in the works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
Surprise!
No one knows. Like, I'm a little bit involved with the film. I worked on the film too, but wow, I had no idea. So that's really exciting news.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And I'm really excited about the book because the book gives a lot of the background that the story can't show. So there's a lot of things. If you watch the first one and then you read the book, it's going to answer a lot of questions of like people had questions in the first one like, well, how did that happen, or what's going on here? But if you read the book, it'll answer it.
It'll give you a little more background information with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the movie 3 or 4 times. I didn't have any like I was like, oh, I didn't know why it is, but maybe I had a little more intimate background with the film.
Yeah.
So you're working on that. What else have you been working on?
I'm working on a couple other screenplays. I tend to write more with the sci-fi, so the couple other screenplays that I have in outline form are also in the sci-fi type genre. I'm also helping to produce another feature film called A Holiday I Do, and we started production back in January. We're filming here in Michigan. We filmed a lot in Saugatuck and Ferndale and around southern Michigan. And this is an LGBTQ holiday type film. And we got some good actors on this one as well, so we're really excited. We're using, we did get a higher budget for this film, and we're using some pretty amazing equipment. So I feel like this film is going to be indistinguishable from a studio film. It's going to look really good.
That's awesome. So that's the same director, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's Paul Schneider?
Yes, Paul Schneider.
And he's currently working on this film. And what was your occupation on that job? What role did you play? On A Holiday I Do, I'm sorry.
Holiday I Do, producer.
So you continue the producing line.
Yes.
That's a hard job. Could you tell our viewers that they might not have an idea what a producer does? Could you enlighten them slightly of how stressful of a job that is?
Yeah, basically, so on Just Another Dream, I took on the role of producer and unit production manager, and I was also the writer. So I took on a lot of different roles on Just Another Dream, but producer, you're basically just making sure the film operates as it's supposed to. So any department has any problems, you're there to make sure it gets fixed and runs smoothly. So you're kind of overseeing the entire production, kind of like as the unit production manager as well. You're just managing everything and making sure everything runs smoothly and gets filmed the way it's supposed to.
Right, the props are in the scene, and okay, we don't have enough memory space. We need some more hard drives or whatever it may be. Or we're a little light on lunch today. We're going to need some more.
Yeah, you kind of just step in wherever you're needed, but you're kind of like the overall manager of overseeing the production.
And so if anybody is interested in purchasing a copy, a DVD, or watching your film, how can they do that?
Yeah, Just Another Dream is now available on Amazon Prime. It's on Vudu. We are actually, I just talked to our distributor this week. We're getting ready within the next probably month or so to launch our AVOD release. So it's going to be available on all of the ad-supported video-on-demand platforms, which will be your Pluto and Roku and Movie Central and all the ad-supported platforms. So we're getting ready to do that release, but it's also available on DVD for purchase, Amazon.com, BestBuy.com, Walmart, all those major online retailers.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad to be a part of Just Another Dream. I was glad you could come on the show and talk about it. Please go watch the movie. Streaming on all platforms here in the near distant future. Available on Walmart.com. BestBuy.com. Thanks, Jennifer, for coming on the show, and hopefully you'll all tune in next time. Have a great day.